Hey everybody, I'm Taylor. I started actually, I model like for modeling for me because I'm a professional model. So Wild 'N Out was actually my first modeling gig. Like the first professional modeling gig I ever booked was Wild 'N Out. And it happened because I was working at International, which is a hit. Well, it's no longer here, RIP, but it used to be like a really poppin' nightclub in Old Town. And I'd worked there for like 3 years, and I had the opportunity to serve Nick Cannon's table when he came in, and he hosted one night. And and so he just kind of, saw me, and he had some of his, I guess, his boys there, and they kind of, he has his little entourage. And so it was really kind of a funny story because I had to go through like 2 or 3 people just to get to talk to him. And so it started out like one guy asked me like, hey, are you the baddest chick in here? And I'm very like, what do you mean? Like, everybody's beautiful. Like, don't ask me that question because I'm like not big headed or anything. So I was like, that's open to interpretation depending on who you ask. Like, what?
Give the essay answer.
Yeah. So he's like, okay. He asked me again, and I'm like, I was like, I cannot answer that question. And he was like, all right, just go talk to whoever the next person was who was right next to Nick. And he basically just asked me like, hey, can you like come out and film in New York for 2 weeks? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I went to go talk to Nick, and Nick kind of was like, hey, I want you to be on the show. Like, is that something you're interested in? And I was like, heck yeah. And then from there, it just kind of turned into like a long-term gig for me. I've been on for 6 seasons now. I just finished my 6th season. So I did season 11, and we just finished filming season 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So when you were at International, like, were you aiming for that, trying to talk to Nick Cannon, or were you kind of just happened to be serving his table? And
yeah, I just happened. It was just a coincidence.
Really?
I was very much like against talking to rappers, athletes. Like, I never did any of that. And I was in a relationship at the time, so I was very faithful. Like, I never even looked in the direction of any of our celebrity guests we had come in. So it was just something that, like, it just happened,
Yeah. You weren't even aiming for that. It just happened.
Yeah.
That's dope. So
that's crazy.
So you went out to New York for that first time, and how was it? Like, was it?
Oh, it was amazing.
Were you nervous, or was it? Like,
Yeah, I was so nervous. You go out there and there's all these famous, people like DC Young Fly, Chico Bean,
DC Young Fly.
like all these like really impressive, talented people, and obviously, Nick Cannon. And luckily, though, there was another girl who I worked with at International at the time, and he asked both of us to go.
Nice.
So I was out there with her, which made it a lot better because I had somebody who I was
of course.
comfortable with, familiar. So it was really such a great experience, though. We were all staying at the same hotel, and we really got to know each other, got to know the other girls. And I started out with I only booked maybe like 5 episodes. It was like 5 episodes or less, and we film about 28 episodes each season. So it started out just like this 1 week long opportunity, and then it kind of turned into this, like, I started doing, I'd stay the whole time, and I got a bunch of episodes. So,
So what was your role? Like, what'd they tell you in the beginning? Like, hey, like, we just need you to stand here and be pretty, or like, we need you to stand next to DJ D-Reg, or what was the role? What was going on?
What was
like,
your part?
Yeah, so basically what my role and the rest of the Wild 'N Out girls' role is basically we're not really like actors or actresses. We have like a short script that we say sometimes. So you guys probably know, like, if they're whatever game they're playing, we'll go out and play the games with them. Maybe I'll guess, like whatever they're rapping about, or I'll go say, give it up for team, whatever team it is.
Gotcha.
But that's really about it. And so we're just kind of like the hype girls. We stand there, we look pretty, we smile and dance. It's really fun, to get paid to just like kind of be a part of the show and have fun. Like, it's pretty awesome.
So is it 1 episode per night, or is it like, how does it work? I'm curious how it goes behind the scenes.
Usually we film 2 or 3 episodes a day. So, and it's like we start at like, well, I mean, it depends. The timing kind of depends, but I mean, it takes a long time. Like it's like full days back to back to back for 2 weeks consecutively. So
damn.
yeah, like it's work.
And
like,
that could be a whole season?
Yeah, that's a whole season. We do that for 2 weeks. And that's
Damn.
one whole season.
Isn't that crazy? Like, look how far ahead he is. Like, in that's a whole fucking season. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, bro, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's wild.
So, have you like built a lot of relationships that kind of helped you get into modeling and stuff like that?
Yeah, I have. You know, like I said, Wild and Out was my first modeling gig that I booked on my own, actually. And from there, I got signed with my mother agent now, who is Ford Robert Black here in Arizona. And now I'm also signed with O Models in LA and Elite in Miami. So, you know, and I think it was because I tried to get signed like for years prior to booking Wild and Out, you know, because my dream was always to be a professional model and to get signed to an agency. And so once I booked Wild and Out, I think the modeling agencies kind of took me more seriously, and they're like, okay, she's established, she has something substantial under her belt. So, you know, they gave me the opportunity. Yeah.
Add to your resume. And
Exactly.
Like, oh, shit, what's up?
Right, yeah. So it was a huge blessing.
So you said you always wanted to be a model?
Yeah.
Like, since what age? Because, like, how do girls go about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, it's like, I don't really know how
You're like, what? You want to be a model?
Yeah, it's much like, no, not even that. It's just like, yeah, you want to be a model, but like at some point you have to be like, damn, like, you know, do I like, because if you're young, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I look good to be a model, or like, do I not look good enough to be a model, or like, you know, because there's only not everyone could be a model. You know what I'm saying? So like, how were you so sure, and like, what influenced you to?
So really, my mom influenced me because she, when she was younger, like in her early 20s, she was a model, and that's when she had me. And I just always like saw her modeling pictures, and she was so beautiful. And I just remember drawing pictures of like my mom modeling, and I was like, I want to be a model so bad. And I mean, my mom's just like, she's amazing. She's like insanely intelligent. So she's just, you know, somebody who I look up to, but modeling was like a very small part of her life. And so anyways, I just always wanted to model. And yeah, you know, you're right. When you look at, you know, the beauty standard here in America and all the media, like, it's like you really have to like fit into this box. And there's only a few people who can really excel and not like stray from those standards. So I don't know. I was very confident in myself. So I guess maybe that's how it was for me. I was just very confident. I was like, I want to do this, and I will literally do whatever it takes. And I did. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was like I kind of went an unhealthy route. Like, I was dieting like hardcore. Like, I was only eating 1,200 calories a day. I was working out every single day, like to try to get signed to an agency. That's crazy, because that is what they're looking for. Like, right, like they want you to be like a stick. And, you know, like you see me right now, like I have curves. I have like, I'm a little voluptuous, you know. So like I was like, I gotta fit into this box. And so, you know, I really kind of had to like, although I was confident in myself, I knew I could do it, but I was like, maybe, you know, like the reason I wasn't getting signed, you know, prior to getting signed was because I wasn't skinny enough. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. But I mean, I think having your mom kind of be in the modeling industry, right, kind of like showed you like, all right, I can do this shit too.
Oh yeah,
you know
totally.
Because if you come from like an ugly family, it's gonna be kind of hard, you know.
Damn,
you know, like, I'm just keeping it
facts. He don't mean it like that. We like ugly families too.
Hey, man,
like,
you know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Hey, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.